welcome everyone to our first podcast here in the channel. Our first guest is going to be one of the most influential figures in the city. His name is Tembo from Adventures, and today we're going to know him a little bit better. Hi Kennedy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for the opportunity. And yeah, I didn't know that I'm actually an influencer.
But you are, huh? You gotta ask the people that go on your tours. If you don't change anyone's minds, of course you do. You know your value.
Wow.
Okay, Kennedy.
Yeah.
This conversation, we want to understand who are you, where exactly do you come from, what is your origin story?
Like your
bit about it.
Yeah, you like having a birthday tomorrow. Yeah. So anyway, I'm originally from Malawi. I came here about 25, 26 years ago. And I came here as a young man.
Mm-hmm.
But Jobbik was like a far-fetched idea for me because, you'd hear from the old people, our grandparents who came to work in the mines here, the uncles and stuff, and how Jobbik was and in their eyes. But I came to witness Jobbik as in my own way. So yeah, as Jobbik stands for everyone coming in here. And if it wasn't for that discovery of 1886, we wouldn't be here. But yeah, I'm glad that I'm actually part and parcel of the story of Jobbik. So yeah, that's why we're actually here. And it inspires me. This city just inspires me. So yeah, so that's where I came from. I was in IT for a long time. I was doing SAP. And but I wasn't passionate about that. It was just, earning money to keep paying the expenses. Yeah, so it wasn't really for my passion. I didn't like being behind the cubicle, but I believed in myself. I thought there's something that I can actually contribute to the greater good. So yeah, I found my story, and I'm actually dancing to my music that I've actually found recently, which is the story of Jobbik.
Perfect. Let us know about what was the story behind Micro Adventures, how you came up with the concept, what was the actual origin of your business.
Yeah, so I've always been an adventurous guy. I've always been, just discovering, curious of other places, curious of things, and I just trying to connect the dots. So, for instance, in my adventures, is my biggest adventure that I've actually done is doing the Ironman. I don't know if you've actually heard of the Ironman. No. Where I believed in myself in doing the Ironman is 180 kilometers cycling and 3.8 Ks swimming and 42 Ks running. So it's a triathlon. But check this out. I didn't know how to swim when I registered for the Ironman, and I could only doggy paddle. That's the swimming. I could float and do the doggy paddle. And I had 3 months to get my swimming right, let alone I've never done the triathlon before, let alone I've actually done the swimming in the ocean or the open water. So everything was first for me, apart from running. Yeah. But I managed
the Ironman, by the way. I was not able to get it, but I get it now. Yeah, of course, triathlon. No, please. Continue.
Yes, yeah. So I did it. In 3 months I went to do the Ironman. I did the swimming 3.8 kilometers in the sea and managed to finish off within the cutoff time, and I've got the medal to show for. Right. So
congrats.
With that belief is that anything you put in your mind and you put a spin on it, you believe in what you do, then you achieve.
Correct.
And that's the adventure side of me. And so I've actually done the comrades, 5 comrades, which is running to Durban, Petermaritzburg to Durban. And then came the interest of Jobbik, the travels that I've actually done, of wanting to know my city, because I grew up literally in Jersey's streets. And at work, I was so tired with people telling me that there's nothing to do in Jobbik. And I said, you know what, there's a lot of gems. But I must say though, right, that I didn't know what I know now. So for me, what I'm trying to say is that Micro Adventure Tours has given me the opportunity of me learning, even though I'm giving people the tours of Jobbik, but I'm learning a lot about my city that I didn't know before I started Micro Adventure Tours. You get that?
Yes, I
Right.
did.
So it is a learning process. Yeah. It is a learning process for me.
I've been with you a lot of times, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so it's not like I was actually born there to know about Jobbik. So it has actually been a process, starting from the IT, and then I had to learn about Jobbik. I had to get into deep down into my readings about Jobbik because I'm so interested, and it actually inspires me. And the people, the culture, the history is just incredible. So I started actually investigating about what Jobbik has, more than what I knew, more than what people thought I knew at work, because I was actually a go-to person to say, if you want to know what's happening in Jobbik, talk to Kennedy. But I didn't know much than what I know now, and I'm still learning. All right. So that's how my Micro Adventure Tours came about. So I started blogging about my experiences, my adventures, my Ironman, my hikes that I do in the Drakensberg, my travels, my cycling in Jobbik, and people, they started following me and they started loving that. And that gave me the confidence that I could communicate my story my own way to people. And from there, then that was my first aha moment. I say aha moment. So when people, they started getting my story and loving my stories, then I said, okay, cool. I think I'm communicating well with people. Then
yes,
from there was, then from there, it was in 2017 when there were students who came from the Netherlands. They were sent their aircraft mechanics from KLM. And they wanted somebody to take them around. So my former colleague, who's the sister, was the manager at a lodge where the guys were staying, contacted me, say, you know what, Kennedy, we have got these guys, they don't know how to go about in the city, so are you gonna take them around? So I said, okay, cool, no, I can take them around, but I don't have transport. I have a Bucky, so if they want to travel in a Bucky, to tour Jobbik in a Bucky, then that's cool. So yeah, the guys, they bought into the idea. They said, yes, it is cool because it is outlawed in our country. So yeah, so they came to my place here in Parktown, and I put the cushions in the Bucky, and then I put them at the back of the Bucky, and we toured Soweto. We became the tourist attraction. I took them to Soweto, to my barber there in Deep Clove, and we went to Vilakazi Street, to Nelson Mandela's museum there, and Hector Peterson, and at Sakumzi. We had lunch. We had a good time. And everybody was actually just cheering us on in Soweto, and it was a good picture to see for the people. And we became, of course, the tourist attraction, as I said, people taking pictures of us, and yeah, so it was a good experience. So that was my second aha moment. And the guys, they said, you know, Kennedy, just register a company, just started hosting people. So I had to register my company and think of what am I offering. And I called it Micro Adventure Tours because I believe you don't have to break a bank to create good memories, right? I used to take my kids to McDonald's in pajamas. We go and enjoy our ice creams there, and you know, everybody would be looking at us in our pajamas, in onesies and stuff. That is a micro adventures. It didn't take much of me.
I can imagine.
It didn't take much of me of actually going to the bank to Yeah, I mean, the ice cream is like what, 3 rand? We are there, we're actually creating memories, and the kids will be like, wow, you know. So yeah, and that was the idea. So have the micro adventure within the city, the small adventure tours, and don't break the bank to have that experience. So that's where it's actually coming from. Maybe now it might be growing to a macro.
And to mega
Who
and to
knows? But
ultra
it
and
will
so
still
on.
maintain micro.
So tell us, what is your
Yeah.
most famous or the most wanted tour? What people want to see in the inner city?
Okay. So like for now, I can tell you, there's this tour called Magical Josie by Night, right? Which is now becoming one of the best, even pre-COVID, it was becoming one of the best sellers, right? And then there's a graffiti cycle tour, which is also incredible. I love it because people, they don't know that Jobbik has got so much street art. Jobbik has got a lot of things actually happening. And also the coffee walking tours. It's just incredible. So yeah, people, they want to see their city, and I must say though, as people, they might think that people, they don't want to come to the city. These tours have become so popular, and not only my tours, by the way, hey? The other guys as well, is people wanting to discover their city.
What is
And
the
for me, the target market.
Continue.
Yeah, the opinion is they come and say, wow, we didn't know that Jobbik is so clean. We didn't know that people are so friendly. Oh, everybody actually knows you in the street. Someone will actually say, do we need to go with our cell phones? I say, yes, confidently so, yes. And then when they come back, they say, oh, shucks, that was a stupid question to ask you. I say, there you go, and go and tell other people that Jobbik is not what you actually think it is. And we go on the rooftops, they're like, what? Someone would actually say, looks clean. Did you send people before you to clean it up for you? I say, you have such a not a good thing about your city, good perception about your city. The stigma we have to break, and I'm glad that people are coming in the city, and yeah, they're discovering.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you mentioned previously about your first clients from the Netherlands, from other parts of the world. Where are your clients come from?
No, from the other parts of the world, I have my target market, as I said, is actually local. And what happens is, because of the power of social media, people, they will see in other parts of the world. But I have my expat community who are based here, of course. And those, when they come on those experiences, it's the word of mouth spreading across to to their friends and relatives. I mean, I've got a lot of the French community. I think you saw, I had the decathlon experience that I took the decathlon guys to Mahalisberg, where we went for the hikes. That was because of the expat community, because of somebody who came on my tour and then referred me. In actual fact, not somebody, a wife of the head of Decathlon South Africa. And so it goes like that, and then it actually opened up that opportunity. So yeah, so the internationals is much more of the expat community. It's not of I get maybe very rare. There was one guy who booked from Atlanta last year, but
Atlanta,
otherwise,
Georgia, US.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So, but otherwise, it's I'm driven for the local market because this is where I want actually to play. This is where I know the game. I know who to, how to communicate to them. I know, I'd love to have our people coming into the city and actually discovering what we have, what the gems we have.
True story. I
That's
also
what
love
I'm
to do.
passionate about.
I actually remember when I started to do more in-depth these historical videos, when I started with what was that building next to the EPSA precincts? That rundown one. I can't remember now the name. The cigarette factory. Can't remember.
Oh yes, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes,
yes.
yeah.
Bank Center. I
Yes.
I remember that time. Kennedy, what are the buildings that you are not so sure of? So I made those first two videos actually in partnership with you.
Yes, yeah.
You're not very
Absolutely.
quite aware. And then from that escalated
Yeah.
to more than 20 history videos that I have until this very moment in the channel. And I remember every time we have some subject that I want to talk about, I always go to you and speak to you. Hey, Kennedy, do you know anything about this? Because I remember you had this thing on Facebook when you used to write all these stories about certain
Oh
things.
yes.
So I loved
I enjoyed
all the details that you
put.
it was actually amazing, and I grow very fond of all these landmarks because first of all it's a challenge to build these videos because there is not much information around here. It's not very well documented, the story about Johannesburg.
Yes.
And you were actually one of the people that teased me to to do these videos and discover our city a little bit more.
Wow, thank you so much for that. I'm glad that it worked.
No, inspires, like you in some way you empower people by sharing knowledge. In nowadays people don't really like to share knowledge, to tell stories. Storytelling is actually it's empowering. It's you feel great.
Absolutely, you feel great indeed.
Exactly. And this takes us to our next question. What was the most memorable experience that you gave to a foreign visitant that went in one of your tours? What is this thing that comes directly to you? Tell me one of your
the one of I think the one of was I had a lady from the US and I took her to Ponty. I took her to Victoria Yards. I took her to Maboneng. I took her to the top of the Carton Center, I think, and up to Ranch Club, and also to Chancellor House and Constitutional Hill. I think that's what we did. It was a whole day. Yeah. And when she came back, when we finished with the tour, she was like, wow, this has been a good experience. And I felt so comfortable with you, Kennedy, and even being around in the city. So when she left, she went to Kruger National Park, where she met the guys from here. And she was just telling them the stories of the Josie, where she has actually been to Ponty and they were like, what? So why do I know that? Because she sent me an email after arriving back home in the US. She says, you know what, Kennedy, I think the biggest problem that you have is to break that stigma and the perception of the people, your own people who are there, the Jobbikers, the South Africans. They have to kind of know their city, and that is a big job you have and your colleagues in the industry. But she says, I never felt any threats whatsoever. I tried even to convince these guys to tell them that you are thinking, what you are thinking is absolutely out of the way. It's not what you think the place is, So yeah, because David, people they build their perceptions based on the hearsays. Some they might actually build them based on the right experiences. But I cannot have anything to say about you if I haven't actually encountered you. Period.
Correct.
You know.
Correct.
And I cannot not someone tell me about you, but let me experience you by myself. And what I see is that maybe people that have got they found the fear that they have. It's found based on something that they've actually experienced, but in most cases, it's what they've heard from other people. Yeah. And we cannot live our lives based on fear.
Yes.
You know, I love just, you know, I would actually go anywhere, anyhow I want to, because of the energy. It's about the energies that you meet, right? Yeah. And mind you, each and every city, right, has got its rough edges. Mm-hmm. All right, but Jobbik in its very nature has got that reputation, that kind of, but I don't know where it's actually coming from, because other cities, I mean, Cape Town has got its also
correct,
very, very, very rough edges, you know, yeah. But it's not the same as Jobbik, you know, but yeah, well, yeah. So this is where we are, but we have to actually to sell the story of Jobbik and how our city is.
Yes, it is.
The history of Jobbik, and it is the responsibility of everybody, and you are also part of that. So, yeah.
Well, we need to do our own media, right? Because if you're gonna, you know, listen to the news on, you know, normal public television, what you just see is like the worst. You know, you see
exactly
people being robbed, people being killed. You know, but you know, it's like, it's more propaganda in a way. I have to tell you, my first job here in Johannesburg, in 2011, I remember I used to go from the south where I used to live all the way to the city, catch a taxi to go to Bradford View. And I promise you, I used to be around town with even with my laptop bag, with my laptop and everything, and I promise you, I never been robbed. Never were followed. Never were. Never happened anything to me, you know. But of course, you know, you kind of wary in a way, so you got all your senses open. But but you know, the perception that we have, that the ones that live outside of the city, it's like, don't go there. It's a no-go zone. But when you drive around, if you go to the Johannesburg Library, for example, or every time I go and meet you to do something with you, you know what I mean? It's always such a pleasant experience, the way that you want to return there. I think for most people, going to the CBD is like an extreme sport. So, you know, you're going to feel all this adrenaline rush. And, like when we went to the Hillbrow Tower, you know, it was such a cool experience.
Absolutely.
And and all those memories that you just want to go and get and go. So you become like a micro adventures type of junkie. But like I say, you are definitely a game changer in terms of the CBD. You have to take it. It's yours.
Yeah, okay, all right, okay, I'll take it. Thank you.
There you go. That's what I want to hear. And
I am one of them. Okay.
I know. We will get there. Like I say, this is one of our first podcasts. There is a lot of people that I want to interview, actually. There is a lot of things to learn. So tell me, in your opinion, in the next 10 years, what is your future sight for the city?
Yeah, I'm just optimistic. I'm just an optimistic guy. If it wasn't for the lockdown, I think we would have actually made good strides. I pity some of the spaces that have closed now, but talking on the very same breath, there's other new spaces which are actually opening up. So it's just incredible to see. I think it can only be good things to happen in 10 years time. But for me, I don't go with with that type of let's say oh yeah, what is your five goal, and what is, you know, what do you want to actually see yourself in 5 years? Who dreamed about having this lockdown, hey? So I take it as it comes. Okay, so
Yeah. We
I
wish we
take it
don't
as
have
it
another
comes,
one.
and yes, I take it as it comes, and I give my everyday experience the best, you know. So I have to make sure that each and every day the short goals that I actually have, short goals, you know, that is what I believe in. That's how I run my things, and that's maybe my way. But in 10 years' time, I think this city will be actually in the position that that it is not in now. We'll actually see a lot of vibrant city, people coming into the city. Let me give you one example in that there's or like today, I'm actually coming from Mapungubwe, where when you asked me to come for for this podcast, I was like, yeah, okay, now give me an extra hour.
Yeah.
I was doing some meeting there, and there's at Mapungubwe Hotel, there's apartments there. People, they're actually staying in there. There's apartments for sale, and this is just one example. There have been buildings that have actually been refurbished, if I may say, like the old JCI building. There's that new Jewel City, which has actually opened. So there's quite good things actually coming, and ABSA Towers, main towers, which has actually just opened quite recently too.
The main
together
transport
with
hub now also. I still
exactly
didn't cover the subject.
Absolutely.
But I'm
So
planning
yeah,
to talk
so
about
there's yeah. So what encourages me is when I see, oh yeah, even last Sunday, I did a tour. I like passing. I don't know if you have actually been at this building, but I've actually just written a bit on it. It's the old police. It's the old police barracks.
Yes, I
It's
remember that it's only
on
a facade of the building.
Marshall Street. There's only the facade of the building, 1913, and that's where the headquarters of the Jobbik police station used to be before it actually moved to where it is now, where it was the John Foster Square, and now it's actually Johannesburg police station. So I take people there, and now I see that there's renovations happening there. They've actually closed off with the corrugated iron, and then there's a sign of the construction, and there is construction happening. It seems as if they will refurbish it, and that is good news for me. When I see those pockets of developments happening, it is good news. You go to Braamfontein.
Market demand for the inner city.
People, yes, and you go. Yeah, you go to Braamfontein, you know, there's a new students' race which has come up just close to Vets Art Gallery. In Braamfontein. That is a new building. So when you see those developments coming up, you're seeing that, yes, you're seeing that someone still has the confidence to invest their money in the city, in the CBD. It's not only Santon, it's also CBD. Yeah. So if that is actually happening now, in 10 years' time, if it actually continues like that, then I think we're gonna actually be at a better place.
No, I agree. You know, we need to demystify this fear that people have about the inner city, which is not completely true. You know what I mean? Look, poverty is anywhere in the world. People can be stabbed, robbed, you know, anything can happen anywhere in the world, you know. But we need to leave this stigma of you can't go out there because you are afraid to be mugged all the time, you know. It's like anywhere. If you go to São Paulo, if you go to anywhere, to the most dangerous places in the world, of course, if you're gonna show off with a nice car, with clothes, with a nice watch, you're gonna be a target. Of course, you're gonna be a target. You know what I mean?
Yes, of course you will. Yes.
If you want to show off, like it's not in Johannesburg, but anywhere in the world, you will be a target.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me tell you about this story. An American couple walked from Braamfontein through Mandela Bridge up to Newtown, up to Rand Club.
That's a big distance.
And with their cell phones, with their chains, and they're like, we were good. They were taking pictures, and people, they're like, what? You know, you stand a good chance of, of getting, see. So those are the perceptions that we actually have, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're thinking that everywhere where you can actually walk, you will be, you'll be a target, but it's not the case anywhere. So that's a good distance coming from all the way from Braamfontein to the CBD.
For example, I'll give you an idea. When I went my first time that I went inside of the Carlton Hotel, I basically put myself inside of my car. I drove all the way to the Carlton complex. I parked in the ground. I went up the elevator. I went to Transnet to the 5th floor inside of the tower. And I asked them, can I please go inside of the hotel? I want to see the hotel inside. They actually organized me a security guard, and we went inside of the hotel. Of course, no videos or photos.
Yes,
even if I tried, but I couldn't. And sometimes it's all about experience. Like you said previously, you can talk about something that you are not aware of it. At least try to experiment, try to read about it, try to learn about it.
That's it. That's it.
If you are promoting such cool experiences in the city, people must go and try themselves, before, like you say, the he said, she said story.
Yes, absolutely.
Get your own experience. Go to micro adventures.
Yes.
Happen, And
like
I say, look, after lockdown, we have to meet because I have lots of vlogs that I want to do with you. And bring the perspective and many more things, but we'll work more in the future. But like I said, at the moment, I don't even risk leaving my house for
yes,
risk it.
No, it happens. Wow, cool. Okay. Yep.
This is Kennedy, guys. Again, awesome conversation, great energy that this man gives out, great experiences. So please go to his social media, follow him on Micro Adventures on Facebook. When are you opening a YouTube, by the way?
Okay, the YouTube is already created, but I'm not consistent with that. But we'll see how it goes. There's just so much things, many things to do,
I know
for a one-man business, So I need to have a team now.
That's another curious thing, because people think that behind me, for example, people think we have a big team. But it's one-man show, you know what I mean? For my videos, I do the research, I do the scripts, I do the editing. There is a lot of work behind this that people don't even understand. And
you're a producer, you're a curator, you're a director, you are everything.
Exactly. Same thing to you, And besides your business, you are a family man, you got your kids, that's your wife. So and in amongst of all this, you still have time to be in shape, So
oh yeah. maybe I'm lucky just because my tours have actually created around
exercising,
keeping fit as well.
And
exercising good. So and feeling good at the same time.
So for any do you have any future projects, anything that you want to leave in the air, plant a seed? You got any projects?
So as I go I go with the flow, right? Like now I was by the way, as I say, I keep on repeating this, that all my ideas come when I'm actually in the bathroom. All right. It doesn't matter where I am. I'm sitting on that or I'm in the bathtub. that's where and this is not a joke, but it sounds like a joke, but that's where I find my space.
Well, mine is under the shower, so there you go.
Under the shower, that's it. And there's a scientific reason why under the shower. So but it's a long story.
No, just put it, just say it. You sometimes slow down, we live in such a society where everything is in a rush. Sometimes we need to
Exactly.
slow
Yes.
down to
Yeah.
get the haha moment.
To get that aha moment. Yes.
To
Yeah.
get
So
the there you
I've
go.
been playing around like. I think and I do it, and I let the market define it.
Exactly.
So if the market doesn't like it, then it's fine. But I've tried.
No,
So
you have been doing an
now,
amazing work. That's for
yeah.
sure.
So now is the coffee and donuts running tour, which I'm actually playing around with, which I did already a test run, which people they've actually already started inquiring about. I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, so
Tell me about
there we go, and
tell
yeah,
us
there'll be maybe many more
tell us a
about
little.
the coffee running.
That is another
Or
thing that I want to ask you is about that about the wilds. You every Tuesday, if I'm not wrong,
oh yeah,
you have
yes,
a senior visitor thing to the wilds. Is it
yeah,
also very
yeah.
popular? How it works? Do you just show up?
Okay, so let me just give you a bit of a story on that. Is that I read a story about James Delaney, the artist who has actually done the installations of the sculptures there.
Mm-hmm.
And that was in my local newspaper. Yeah, it was in here, in this newspaper. I've got it right here. Right? The local newspaper, and this guy is making this park change its image. And you know what, for 21 years I had been passing there in the wilds. Then when I read the story, I went there and checked it out. I contacted James, but before I contacted him, I was like, okay, Kennedy, what are you going to do in your own capacity?
Good question.
Right? Okay, so that's when I contacted James, and James said, you know what, Kennedy, it's not my space. It is Jobbik, what do they call it?
Jobbik City Parks.
The Jobbik City Parks space. But you can do whatever you want, you think you can actually do in on way of making a contribution. So I created a walking cleanup hike, which was every third Saturday of the month. And people started coming, the families, and we would actually clean up, walk, hiking, and we clean up. And I started getting busy on Saturdays. And then I thought, what am I, another bathroom idea, right? What am I gonna create for that place? And then I thought of the senior citizens hike. And all this is a thought. It took a thought, right? In the bathroom or wherever I was, but in the bathroom. And then the power of social media is the greatest that we have. We can leverage, we can use it for, to our own benefit. You can
leverage for everything, basically, yeah.
For everything, yes, yeah. So I posted on the Friends of the Wilds, and we started like 3-4, senior citizens coming, and I said, okay, it will be every second Tuesday. So for 2 years now, we're going maybe to 3 years. 2 years now, it's just grown. Hey,
wow!
Like the last week, I had about 30 people coming. So it is my way of giving back to my community.
And it's
so there's no charge. Because
you bring from young people, senior people. You bring families to the inner city, and actually James, which is one of I will try to speak with James, see if I can bring him to the show, see if we can talk about it, and it's crazy, because people sometimes only one person can do so much,
That's it. Yeah.
If you put your will out there, you're not going to need a government. You're not going to need you just need yourself and your belief to do things. And you make things happen, because things in a city is like people like you, people like James, people like Gerald Gardner, Two Summers, it's just write about it, create ideas, bring people together, you know. And that's what the inner city needs to come back to life.
That's it. Yeah. So it is us. It is the people. Yeah. It takes only one man to stand up and to say, okay, this is what I'm gonna actually do. And if we volunteer, we've got a lot of people coming together, then we can make a really good strides and a huge change in our. I mean, it has been proven.
Yes.
Completely. It has been proven. Yeah. Completely. That's it. Yeah. So that is the way. That is the working model.
Yes. Correct. There is no business plan on this. Yeah, you know what?
Yes,
Having an idea and apply it.
That's it.
And that's it. Yeah, you completely. Okay, Kennedy, I don't know if you want to add something else, because it's been a great conversation until now. I'm enjoying myself right now talking to you.
I'm just thankful that our paths crossed. Okay, and I keep up with your good work and make a change. You're also making a change in your own way.
No, thank you.
Keep that up. Okay, and kudos to you. Thank you for this opportunity. Love it.
It's only a pleasure, man. It's only made sense for you to be the first person to come to the podcast. By the way, guys, thank you so much for watching our first podcast. We spoke with Kennedy Tembo. Please follow him on his micro adventures social media on Facebook, mainly, correct? And newsletter, go to his website. Make sure, by the way, another thing, how much, depending on the tour, how much will someone pay to go in one of your tours? For example,
okay, so for instance, the coffee walking tour is 200 rands plus a free coffee at the start. And then the graffiti and coffee cycling tours is like 550. That includes the bike hire. So if you don't have a bike, I've got bikes for you, but not e-bikes. All right, so it's not e-bikes, it's mountain bikes, and the idea also is actually to keep being active. Yeah. So it's 550 rands per person.
And for example, if I don't want that type of tours, do you customize something? If I want, for example, to do something like the American lady did, will you make?
Oh yes, yeah, no, for sure, yes, yeah, no, I customize the way you want, and then we take care. Like now, I'm actually busy customizing one for the year-end function for some company guys. They just want to actually come and actually have fun in the city, so I have to create something.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'll create something for you, customized.
Yeah, because when we gonna spend when we can, after we get the vaccines, I want to go to a customized one. I want to go to the Carlton. I want to go to all those places that you took the lady, because that's super interesting, and I definitely want to do that one. So we'll make a plan.
Awesome.
So
cool stuff.
We will stay in touch. Kennedy, thank you so much once again for being able to do this first podcast. Guys, don't forget to follow Kennedy on his social media. Don't forget to go to one of his stores and make his agenda full, because he deserves and he is doing an amazing job. So do you want to add?
Pleasure, thank you. No, thank you so much, man. Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
It's only a pleasure, my friend. Have a good one. Huh?
Cool. All right. Cheers.
See you around.
Bye for now.
You too. Awesome, man. Cheers. Bye.